So for our next test, we're gonna feed these guys some wood. Hopefully they like.
That would. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Lit Fam. Now today, bro, we got 1,000 Termites versus Wood House by the boy Terra Green, bro. Shout out Terra Green. We actually just heard him mentioned by Flytrap Films, just the other last animal video we react to. So yeah, chat, we're gonna be seeing what 1,000 Termites can do. Now these motherfuckers annoying as hell, especially when you get on the wood of your house and shit. So I can imagine they about to tear up whatever little mini house he's got for them. So without further ado, make sure you grab your popcorn and let's see.
This is 1,000 termites, and in this video, I'll be testing everything interesting about termites, even putting them against a mini wood house to see if they'll eat straight through it.
Yeah, should be fun. Now before
chat, have you guys ever had termites like in your house? Have you seen what they really look like and how they just demolish the wood in your house, bro?
To the house, I first want to show you guys how termites build their nests, because termites seriously build some of the craziest homes in the animal kingdom, and they build them quickly. Let me show you by dumping these guys in.
Now instantly after dumping in the termites, you can see just how many there actually was here, just absolutely swarming in this single area. But you could
low-key look like mosquito larvae a little bit.
Quickly see how multiple started to gather up in this back area near the exposed dirt. You see, I've set up this container to have a thin layer of soil pressed up against this glass floor. And this gap here lets termites squeeze underneath to start digging. Okay. We're gonna get to see them dig their intricate.
I wonder if they do that purposely. They dig underneath it because it feels like it's like a warmer thing or just more safe.
Meaning we're gonna get to see them dig their intricate tunnels from above. It's a slow process that only works because of the sheer amount of termites. Because while a single termite is super small, there are over 1,000 termites right here, meaning work gets done pretty quickly. And over the
just like ants, you know what I'm saying, they gotta work in the colony, and you know the work gets done pretty quickly if they have a lot like this. And 1,000 termites doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it really is. I mean, look at them, they look a lot right here. They're not really gathered over here that much, but over here they're going crazy, and there's a lot more underground, I'm sure, already digging.
The bulk of the termites migrated across the entire floor in this super cool pattern. Dang, that is insane to watch on time lapse.
Oh my gosh, these termites completely dug this entire area out so much faster than how long it usually takes for my ants to do it. And thankfully, this video is just getting started, because the next fun thing I have planned for the termites is to put a predator with them. And by a predator, I mean I've got this tiny little earthworm.
Oh, and it's alive too.
Who knows? When it digs under with the termites, what's gonna happen? I mean,
yeah, that motherfucker cook, bro. It's a numbers game, just like the ants, bro. Like you would think, one ant versus a lot of things is gonna lose, but not with a whole colony behind that motherfucker, bro. They know how to work together. They be jumping your ass. Yeah, they jumpers.
Termites, they jumpers. What's gonna happen? I mean, they could swarm it. They could just completely evacuate the place. I don't know.
So the only way to find out was to put this little worm inside. Now, almost instantly, it squeezed under the glass floor and started to dig in the dirt. It got closer to the termites. Now, I'm pretty sure termites only eat stuff like wood, so honestly, I didn't even think much would happen. But as the worm got nearer, some of the termites started to approach the worm with the little tunnels they had dug out.
What you doing around these parts, boy?
Initially attack it. In fact, they sort of just ignored that it was even there, just walking from one side of it to the other, acting like it was just some sort of bridge. Then all of a sudden, I noticed tons more of the termites starting to gather around the backside of the worm, almost like they were gonna start attacking it. Even some of the—
they were just waiting for the first couple to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you have to wait, see if your friend does something, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll do it, I guess. All right, man, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do the extra credit because my friend did it. All right. Yeah, it's kind of like that with the termites, I'm assuming, right here, because once a couple of them started going at it, then they're like, okay, let's go. And then you call the other friends, and then your other friends come over, and then everybody starts attacking this motherfucker.
Even some of these bigger termites marched in called soldiers that specifically have these massive mandibles meant to defend the termite nest. But as
just like the soldier ants, bro.
Kept watching,
the BBLs.
Surprisingly, the swarm didn't attack, and well, they kind of just let the worm dig around their nest.
Dang, this is so interesting. How the termites are just fine living with a literal worm in their nest. Yeah, they're just not attacking it out.
I mean, to be fair, the worm's not really attacking, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of just there with them. And honestly, now that I think about it, I don't see termites as much of too much of a aggressive, you know, animal or something, or insect. Are they considered insects, bro? Yeah, see, when the fucking insect animal thing, whatever, I'm gonna consider them insects, bro. They're annoying as shit, so insects are usually annoying. But yeah, the worm's not really doing anything to them, so I don't see them like wanting to take it out.
Even more interestingly, as I left my time-lapse camera recording, the worm really just learned to coexist with the 1,000 termites. Yeah, I mean, this this honestly makes sense. This species of termites literally only eats wood, so there's no
got an Uber
reason for them to waste your energy attacking a harmless worm.
Dang, that's cool. Well, I'm guessing you guys are hungry, so for our next test, we're gonna feed these guys some wood. Hopefully, they like.
That
Yeah, I don't only have this nice natural piece of bark from a tree, I also have this piece of cardboard. So that way I can test both of these materials to see which is the best food source to feed these guys in the future. And after sliding both of the food sources under the sheet of acrylic, the termites had access to them. And honestly,
I think they might like the right side one better just because it might have some more texture and just more food to them. I don't know.
It didn't long till some of the termites started to investigate it. Since putting the termites in this nest, they've had like a day with no wood, so I knew for sure they would be hungry. Now, interestingly, there was almost like no termites going up to the actual piece of wood, but there was quite a few checking out the piece of cardboard, even walking inside the tiny holes on the side of it. You see, termites like this species actually have more than 100,000 microscopic little alive creatures inside their bodies. They're called flagellates.
Like how we have in our balls.
And basically, they live inside termite bodies, and as the termite chews wood, these flagellates help to digest the wood and break it up into actual nutrients somehow. Yeah, it's just insane. Knowing each termite body is basically just a massive house to so many of these unseeable creatures.
Damn, and they actually help them do tasks. So yeah, things in my balls, they don't help any task, bro. Is, you know, they just do nothing.
Even though some of the termites were
swimming around all day for nothing, bro.
Walking inside the cardboard, it didn't actually seem like they were eating either of these food sources yet. Well, that was until this, because I kept my time-lapse camera recording, totally just expecting the termites not to move towards the wood. You can see most of the termites were actually staying near the bottom, away from the wood. But as I kept recording for another half an hour, eventually a couple termites started to walk on top of the piece of bark. And they looked pretty excited, because soon after, a few more termites started to walk onto it. I guess they didn't realize this was food earlier, but since they had now found out, these initial termites that had walked on here started to release a type of special pheromone in the air that signals there was food here.
Oh, hell
because
no.
the whole colony could sense the pheromones, it literally only took about 5 more minutes until this piece of wood started to get absolutely swarmed.
Wow, that's something I don't remember from the ants. Maybe I just don't remember, but I don't remember them being able to release some green aura, basically fart all over the place to make sure that everybody sees that they could have food. The last place I've seen this at was maybe with the bees, but it was more like just telling them where the queen is, I guess. Or was it to protect the queen, or just letting everybody know where their home was? I can't remember.
Absolutely swarmed. Yeah, it happened so fast, and soon enough, the entire piece of bark was covered from top to bottom in termites. But interestingly, it seemed like this piece of cardboard wasn't getting nearly as much attention from the termites anymore.
Yo, check out this
I told
wood.
you guys they would like the wood better.
Absolutely swarmed right now. And it may look like the cardboard's not getting eaten, but if you actually look very closely in there, oh yeah, this thing's getting eaten up too.
Yup, that's right, because when I pointed my camera directly to the side of this cardboard,
they all in there,
it was overflowing with termites. It looked like they were just crawling all up inside of it, and when
that seems like a very uncomfortable eating experience, bro. Like, imagine just eating with your sibling face to face like this, just trying to eat the same exact thing.
all up inside of it, and when I got some tweezers to peel back the piece of cardboard, well, you could see just how many there actually was inside,
so many in
which kind of all immediately evacuated once they realized I was peeling this apart, so sorry guys.
Oh my gosh, it's only been an hour,
like,
and these termites are decimating the wood. Imagine what they're gonna do to the mini wood house when I leave it in there
or my wood
for a week.
And after shaking off all the termites I could,
we're not testing that today. Maybe next time on Terra Green.
After shaking off all the termites I could, you could see this piece of wood looked quite a bit different, and it looked like it may have even been hollowed out because there was just a bunch of termites walking inside. Anyways, for the final test, before feeding them a wooden house, well, I want to put my termites through a maze.
Yep, termites, I'm going to be testing your intelligence, and if you actually make it to the end of the maze, I'll reward you with the house.
To make this termite maze, I got out an empty fish tank, and I started to cut these...
Yo, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if they would like a gingerbread house. Like, if they would think that's wood.
Empty fish tank, and I started to cut these lines of plastic to make the shape of a maze. After going and gluing them down, I completely filled the floor up with another thin layer of dirt. If you remember, the termites dug through that first nest I made for them in a cool pattern, so I'm wondering if they're gonna do the same here, and if they're gonna take any wrong turns that lead them to a dead end.
Alright then, let me go and just put
definitely some of them are.
Sized piece of glass here, and then let me put a piece of bark and cardboard at the end so they'll actually have a goal to get to. Well, let me gather up these termites and I'll move them in here.
How the hell you gonna move all of them though, bro? Like,
quite a bit harder than I thought to move these termites out because how how incredibly small they are. So I sort of just resorted to digging up all the dirt I could that the termites were hiding under. I even found that worm that I'd placed in earlier, which is still just living peacefully inside. But yeah, eventually I got all the termites into this little container with dirt.
All right, now I just gotta dump these in here so they can start the maze. Also, what's kind of cool is if you look at the underside of this, all of them at the bottom started to gather there. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, anyways, I went and started to scoop
like emergency gathering, bro.
Scoop the dirt into the maze enclosure pretty carefully in order to not hurt the termites. You can see this whole pile of dirt was just absolutely overflowing with tons of termites. But basically, you remember how the termites were just gathering on the bottom of the little container they were just in? The plan here is they're gonna do the same thing and they'll slowly make their way into the maze. Hopefully. Yeah, I don't actually know if this is gonna work. But I set up my time-lapse camera and
I feel like they will. I mean, they're gonna try to move. I'm not sure exactly, like they're just gonna go through the maze, but they're definitely gonna make progress to over here in the first place.
Waited to see what would happen. After not too long, this termite was the first to enter the maze, but somehow he decided to crawl into the walls of the maze. And he sort of started to break through to the other side of the wall. Now, thankfully, this was a dead end.
Hey, don't hate the play, hate the game.
And so when the rest of the colony decided to follow this cheating termite, they didn't finish too easily. Over the next few hours, you can really see how the termites learn to follow each other because so many of them.
Yo, I'm telling you, they follow trends, bro. Like, they don't start doing stuff until a couple starts doing it. Like, somebody has to break that barrier and then all of them follow along.
Of them ended up at this little tunnel at the top left area, but it was only a matter of time until more of the colony started to go down into the maze, and over the next day, they started to travel closer and closer to the wood end goal. I mean, they still kind of were cheating, but eventually one termite did actually make it to the wood. And yeah, I guess just like that, they had completed the maze. Good job, termite.
Is that the first Lone Ranger that went in the first place? I wonder.
Well, since you guys made it to the end of this awesome maze, that of course means you guys get to eat the house now. Let me gather you guys out of here real quick and let's do that.
Yeah, it took a little while, but eventually I got him into another container.
And yeah, you can see how they're
Bro, I know that's so tiring, scooping all of them up into this jar every time.
See how they're all pretty much just gathering up on the bottom once again.
They probably feel so like violated right now. Like, dude, why are we getting moved like every 2 seconds? Like, what the fuck, man? We got one day in our home and we getting picked up again, bro. Where are we going next?
Oh my gosh, there's actually so many right there. But anyways, I got the house right here, so let me just, and boom, just like that, the house teleports inside. There's totally no editing involved in that. That was just magic.
Now, I first drilled a hole into the top of this house that I'd eventually be able to record through. Then I also had a bit of dirt around and inside of the house, so the termites would want to stay here. And finally, termites need constant moisture to survive. So I'm just gonna absolutely drench this house with my spray bottle. Hopefully this will make it easier to chew through.
All right, termites, I hope you're still hungry.
Yeah, that explains why they like, you know, chewing at wood, especially after it rains and shit, because they need that moisture to feel comfortable and stuff eating it.
You're still hungry. Yeah, I guess let me just try and take this sheet of termites and just start dumping them in the house. And then there's still tons in here, so I'm just gonna go and dump them inside and kind of just all around the house. Let's get this thing absolutely destroyed.
Oh, bro, just fell off the roof, man. R.I.P. Termite.
Well,
R.I.P. Termite,
I don't actually know if they're gonna eat it, but that's the plan.
Now, it's pretty cool to see the sheer amount of termites just swarming every single inch of this house. And you can even see them inside a little bit, but I couldn't see that much since it was kind of dark. So I, of course, set up the time-lapse camera and recorded for many hours. And you can see there was tons of termites that were just walking around the perimeter of the tank investigating what was going on, while others were still swarming around the dirt of the house and also climbing all up inside the hole that I drilled on the top of the roof. But there was no destruction really visible just yet.
Okay, it's been about 20
I'm telling you, somebody has to take the leadership role and then everybody follows.
24 hours, and it almost seems like the termites are doing nothing to this house. But you see, the thing that makes termites so deadly to houses is the fact that they completely work out of sight. So let's do a little more.
Yep, you don't see what they're doing, and it might look like they're not doing much, but then once that total damage gets revealed, you're cooked. You didn't even see it coming, bro.
On the stick.
So I pointed my super bright studio light through that hole I put in the top, and you could see the termites were in here, but yeah, it was still not super visible inside of here. So I went and pointed the camera through that hole in the roof, and I was even more amazed by the amount of termites all huddling around the wooden walls. You can even see how some of them would rapidly shake their heads. Apparently they do this to signal to the rest of the colony that danger's nearby, but yeah, you can see the
so bro just has a full-on fucking seizure, like, guys, there's something here. Guys, it's danger.
Nearby, but yeah, you can see the walls were starting to look like they were maybe getting a little bit destroyed so far.
Yo, the termites are absolutely swarming inside of there. Hold on, wait, I wonder if they're under. Oh my gosh. That's more than I was expecting. Oh my gosh.
Damn, so they going from the bottom up.
Underside of that.
Yeah, tons were gathering right here, as you can see.
All you gotta do is just smash the house down a little with a little force, and they're all gone.
I wasn't really sure if these ones were actually eating the wood or if they were here for just cover. Either way, I kept recording my time-lapse camera, and while nothing really interesting happened on the outside, as you could probably guess, when I moved the time-lapse camera inside to start to record, you could see how there was so much more action and how they were climbing all over this wall.
Wow.
Surely they were eating it, but if you didn't know, termites are some of the slowest eaters in the animal kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And even with over 1,000
they're
in
tiny.
this 10-hour time-lapse, you can't really see a whole lot of damage being made, but you can see some of these termites were making this cool little mud ball out of dirt, saliva, and wood that they spit out. They sometimes will make these little balls in their nest to keep moisture, since, as I said earlier, they need moisture to survive.
Yeah, at this pace,
they just like balls. Could be that.
To start making noticeable progress through the wood. I would call this video a success. I mean, we literally learned so much about termites, and because I don't want to wait 3 months before I post my next video, what I'm gonna do is make a community post once they actually start making cool tunnels and stuff through this.
Okay.
So yeah, stay tuned for that when I post that.
But in the meantime, we can.
Yeah, it just always amazes me. Like, Terry Green just has a whole bunch of shit in his house, bro. Like, he's gonna have these termites for months on end, years. Like, does he actually keep everything? I'm sure he does it.
When I post that.
But in the meantime, we can definitely see the tiny bits of chewing progress they've made since being in here. Pretty cool.
So yeah, stay tuned for the community post. Make sure to subscribe so you'll see it when I post it. And yeah, hopefully you learned something new about termites. Yeah, I guess click the video on the screen.
Yeah, W or L termites, chat. WL, I'ma say L, bro, because they just literally destroy the house from within if you get them in, and that shit is not cool, bro. You have to get them, exterminate everything, but I mean, it's pretty cool to see how they work as a colony. I still put the ant colony above them because the ants, they just on demon time. The termites, they a little passive, you know. They let the worm come in there and infiltrate their whole home, even though the worm wasn't doing anything, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But the ants, if they saw anything in their shit, they attack. They really they got YN jit and everything. There is no YN jits in this termite video, so hey, you just got to give it to the ants, bro. But let me know what you guys thoughts are in the comments, and let me know what else you guys want to react to, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.